Okay, I'm going to talk a little bit about reinforcement learning for electrical markets and the energy transition. It's a summary of the works I've carried out with my many collaborators over these last, I would say, 5 or 6 years. Well, there are very few people in artificial intelligence, robotics, who know a little bit about how electricity markets work. I shoot you one in your life once follow a class about electrical markets. I mean, during the first class, they will display you this figure here on the screen. So you have generation companies. They sell electricity through what we call a wholesale market to large consumers or through small consumers through retailers. So that's the dominant model for electricity markets. And this model has been implemented all over in Europe. What you need to know is that when you sell electricity to someone, you actually sell a quantity of electrical energy related to a specific market period. It can be either 15 minutes or 30 minutes in Europe. So when you buy electricity, really what you buy, it's a quantity related to a market period. And electricity markets, well, these are like complex games because you do not have one market where you buy or sell electricity. You have several markets, and you have markets related to future products. Okay, for example, for let's say one specific market period, let's say now between 2 p.m. and a quarter past 2, you can already buy the electricity 6 years in advance on this forward market. Usually in this forward market, you do not buy electricity for a single market period, but let's say electricity for all the market periods covering 1 month, 1 quarter, or 1 year. And then the closer you move to the real time, let's say the delivery time, the more the granularity of the market is increasing. You have the so-called and well-known day-ahead markets. That's a market where you buy on the day ahead electricity for the next day. You have around 35% to 40%, of the volumes that go to this market. And then you have the intraday market. And finally, you have also after the delivery or just before the delivery, the balancing market, the ancillary market. So it's a difficult game. It's a difficult game playing with these markets. And the prices may vary a lot. That's one specificity of electricity markets is that the price related to a market period, let's say at noon, can be pretty much different from the price that you pay in the evening. And here you have an example. That's the picture that dates from 2021 of the price of electricity for different forward products. For the month of December, it would cost you 177 euros per megawatt hour. And you see that, for example, for February, it would be more expensive. These are the monthly products. At the bottom of the slide, you can see the forward product for different years. You see that in 2021, you wouldn't pay much, for the electricity. In 2024, 67 euros per megawatt hour, while it would be 115 euros per megawatt hour for 2022. This gives you an idea about the number. Okay, but let us go to the main point of this talk. It's the use of reinforcement learning for interacting with electricity market. So what is reinforcement learning? So reinforcement learning, it really refers, these are well-known machine learning techniques. It refers, let's say, to techniques, that enable one to solve a complex, stochastic, sequential, optimal decision-making problem. And this is important from the information generated through interaction with the system. So basically, you have a problem, a complex optimal sequential decision-making problem. You interact with the problem. So you take decision, you observe the effect of the decisions on the system. You generate what we call trajectories. And from these trajectories, you basically try to infer a control policy that will maximize a sum of rewards. Okay. The main three reasons why reinforcement learning techniques are extremely promising for solving for solving, let's say, market problems is that first, these techniques, they really seek to maximize a numerical reward signal. And it's exactly what you want to do when you play with markets, any type of market, because you want to maximize the amount of money that you make when interacting with those markets. So you have this naturally this reward signal which is defined. That's not always the case. For example, suppose that you use reinforcement learning techniques for robotics. I mean, the reward signals is not that immediate to find. The reward signal should, in some sense, in robotics, represent how well the robots behaves, and that may be more difficult to define. You have also, and that's extremely important, a sequential nature in the decision that you take when you interact with electricity market. And this sequential nature has two sources. First source is that you have a sequence of markets to which is associated a sequence of decision, like what you need to buy and sell in every of those markets. And then you have also many devices that participate to the time coupling of the decisions. I'm talking about mostly the batteries. If you decide to discharge a battery to a market period, I mean, you won't be able to discharge perhaps it at the next market period. So there you get a time coupling between the decision. So this is another reason, this time coupling between the decision. This is a reason why reinforcement learning techniques are also very, very promising for interacting with electricity market. And thirdly, these problems are extremely stochastic. And when you interact with market, they are stochastic, and it's difficult, to model the environment. And that's also a third reason why reinforcement learning techniques are extremely promising, because these are techniques that are well suited for dealing with stochastic system. Okay, and I'm working 4 years now on the design, let's say, of very good reinforcement learning agent that are able to interact simultaneously with the different type of market, with all these markets at once. That's an ambitious result. So I'm going to present you, because we do not have a lot of time, I'm going to present you shortly the results that we have had by dealing with one specific type of market, the so-called intraday markets. I want to emphasize that this work has been published in one of the best machine learning paper, machine learning. That's the name of one of the best machine learning journal, machine learning. So it's very rare to have applications published in those top journals, and we are very proud of this work. And it's a work that we have carried out with the NG Trading Group. That's probably one of the best trading group in the world, and they are using advanced machine learning techniques for their trading. So this represents a little bit how an intraday market work. Okay, you can start dealing, at 4 p.m. the day before, the 4 p.m. products, for the next day. The next day starts at midnight and it finishes at midnight, and you have products that are related to every quarter of the next day. And half an hour before the beginning, of a market period, you cannot trade product for the market period. So let's say that the first product that you can trade is between midnight and a quarter past midnight. At 11:30 p.m., you cannot trade this product. It's why you have for the first product Q1. Okay, there is the time of closure for the trading of this product. Okay. And here is typically an order book. You have an order book for this market, an order book related to every product. You have 96 products for this market, 4 products per hour, 24 hours a day, 4 multiplied by 24, 96. And for every product, you always see the same, a quantity, okay, and a price. Either it's a product for which you sell, it's a sell product, okay, you are ready here in the example to sell 4.25 megawatt hour of power at a price of 36.3, or you are ready to buy, okay, you put bits for buying electricity at a price here, for example, 3.8 euros per megawatt hour and a quantity of 3.15 megawatt. Right? That's how it works. And we have used reinforcement learning techniques for using this. The generic reinforcement learning scheme is the following. You have a reinforcement learning agent, you take an action, you apply the action on the environment, and you get a state reward as outcome, a reward as outcome, and also an observation of the state or partial information of the state. In this context, we have considered an interaction with the intraday market where you have a battery. So you can interact with the intraday market, and you can also control the battery. So the agent, really the entity that controls the battery, and determines, what are the bits it should grab on the day-ahead market. These are the 2 actions that it can take. It can observe, as observation, it can observe the state of the battery and many things about the markets, mostly information related to the order book. And the reward is naturally the money it makes during each market period. I won't go through the details here, but when you deal with reinforcement learning problem, you need to define what is the state space, how do you represent the state, what are the features you extract from the state, what is the action space, the type of environment you are really dealing with, adversarial, non-adversarial, fully observable, partially observable, and so on, so on. For this example, we have used the well-known algorithm. It's a batch mode reinforcement learning algorithm. So it exploits at once a set of trajectories by learning what we call a sequence of state action value function. We have used this algorithm with deep neural nets as function approximators, and in particular, deep neural nets made from LSTM neurons, several layers of fully connected neurons like this. And we have tested, the policy use against a policy that was usually used by traders. And for example, here is each return that we make per day, okay, the value, the money that we generate, so 667 euros per day, okay, versus, with already a good policy, but that does not rely on artificial intelligence, 645 euros per day. So again, in between 3 and 4%. That's typically, we have worked a lot with traders. That's typically the additional money that you can earn, by using advanced trading techniques. It's significant, 4% more with respect to the already very good techniques that they have for now. Okay, that's one application for us of reinforcement learning to, let's say, trading activity. We have worked on other applications. I won't detail all the other applications, but one of those other applications is the renewable energy communities. So what are renewable energy communities? That's a concept which is pretty new in Europe. It has been introduced, in the EU legislation, I would say 4-5 years ago. And it's basically, a set of consumers that can or produce or that can bypass, the wholesale market, and trade electricity directly between them, between the member of the communities. So this trading is difficult to do, especially when you have, the community that owns also flexible devices like batteries. You rapidly have to face difficult sequential decision-making problems. So we have observed, I just want to emphasize this application, which is important. We have generated very interesting results by relying on those techniques, those reinforcement learning techniques. I won't enter into the details, but I can point to the paper which is given on this slide. Other successes that we have had using these reinforcement learning techniques is for the sizings of complex energy systems. Now, energy systems change rapidly because of renewables, because of new types of loads, EVs, heat pumps, and so on, so on. And it's very difficult, for investors to know exactly the type of investment that they should do. And we have formalized those problems, and we have found out that the investment that they need to do can be formalized as a kind of a two-stage, optimal decision-making problem, where in the first stage you make the investment, and in the second stage, you control the system. So you are basically optimizing at the same time the environment. Okay, that would be a reinforcement learning problem, where you are at the same time optimizing the environment and the control policies, a paradigm in reinforcement learning that has been very little studied, and that should probably receive much more application. So that would be the paradigm. You would have on the left the classical reinforcement learning scheme, and here on the right, a design agent, that interact with these schemes for optimizing what we call the dynamics of the system. Here is one algorithm, okay? Again, I won't enter into the details. Everything is in the paper. One algorithm that we have proposed for handling those problems. I give you an example. Suppose that you have here on the right the microgrid. It's a microgrid where you have a load. You have PV panels, diesel generators, batteries. What is, the best investment that you should make? How many PV panels should you install? What would be the power of the diesel generator? What would be the size of the batteries, to lead to a system that minimizes costs, for providing enough electricity to the load. We have tested our new approach, on this system, and we see it's the blue curve on the figure that we have outperformed, an existing algorithm called JODC on this problem. And I like this because it shows you that the research, I like this slide because it shows you that the research done at a very good level, using artificial intelligence technique, for tackling, specific problems related to energy, can also be used to other fields. Okay, so we have used exactly the same algorithm as the one shown before, but here for sizing, let's say for designing a drone. So we had a drone, we had to design a drone so that it could at best, follow the green trajectory on the bottom left. Okay. And we have used exactly the same algorithms, and with some successes, we have been able to find what was the best design for this drone. So here you see going from let's say energy related problem, we could have impacts also on classical problems related to robotics. And again, there is a reference in the talk to the papers published in Journal of Artificial Intelligence Research that details this. I won't be much longer. I just would like to say that the electrical grid, a few years ago was made on the transmission network, to which were connected distribution network, and the electricity was flowing from transmission the network to distribution network, and you didn't have any, let's say, advanced control schemes at the distribution level. But now the grid is fully changing. On top of the transmission network, you have huge HVDC links that have been created, built, then these HVDC links, they need, advanced control strategies. You need more advanced control strategies for the transmission network, and also advanced control strategy for the distribution networks, also called active network management schemes. So in a few years, you are moving, from a two-layer system with one active control layer to a three-layer system where you need advanced control schemes for the three layers, and that raises a lot of challenges. Sadly, you have very few people from, let's say, artificial intelligence who really work. They love to work on problems related to robotics, large language models, all those problems, but very few of them work with problems related to energy system, and it's probably because there is a lack of good benchmarks in this field that they can easily use, for testing these algorithms. And in an effort, to try to overcome this problem, we have designed, let's say, a gym environment, a well-known gym environment, and this environment has been developed by OpenAI for, testing algorithms on, let's say, electrical systems. And these environments, they are made available, and you can download them on my website or on GitHub. I'm just finishing this talk by giving you a demonstration of this environmental control scheme. Here you have a system. You can control when to charge, discharge the batteries, when you curtail generation, so as to avoid congestion, voltage problems on the power systems. And if you look at the presentation, you can play the video and you can see how these systems can be adequately controlled by reinforcement learning algorithms, and you can reuse all the graphical interface, all these environments for testing your favorite algorithms on this electrical system. Something I would appreciate a lot, because I think it's very important that more people in artificial intelligence work on those classes of problems. I would like to thank you a lot for your attention, and I think I haven't been too long.